What's up, everyone? It's Athena Parthenos, who the humans call Willette, with Urbex and Coasters, and today we are going to be overanalyzing the shit out of a line from Percy Jackson and the Olympians Season 2. So, it is no secret that I like to overanalyze the shit out of roller coaster references in media. You can see my thoughts on Carnival of Souls or the Santa Monica Pier reference in Titanic. So it is no secret that I like to overanalyze the shit out of amusement park references in media like this. So we're going to be talking basically about one line in a TV show. So in Season 2 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, Percy asks Anabeth after not having experienced the human world, what she thought of roller coasters like Space Mountain. Now, it is established that Anabeth lived in Virginia during her time in the human world, in her first time stepping out of Camp Half-Blood. And if you know anything about Annabeth's character, you also hear her talk about how, she can be a demigod, but not a regular kid. So there's an opportunity for show don't tell when you're talking about someone who would have gone to ride a roller coaster in Virginia that is very much a demigod and more a demigod than a kid. And that is, of course, Pantheon, a ride that makes references to many of the gods, including Minerva, who is the Roman version of Athena. So, in the Pantheon lore, Minerva provides that first launch out of the station for Pantheon. So basically it's what gets the ride going. And, there's a lot you could do with that as far as Annabeth as a character goes. Like you could say, you could show what she thinks about that in terms of, the fact that the first season had Athena have her pride hurt at the Gateway Arch. You could have something like that referenced and have her say something like, oh, it serves mom right to have the most boring part of the ride with that opening launch that's honestly pretty slow. Or, the fact that there is that storyline with all the gods, like, you could have her talking about that storyline with the gods and show her knowledge about what the gods actually are and say this storyline, they don't tell it well. They don't have enough stuff there to convey that story is happening. They just have an empty queue. They don't have anything to communicate that is going on. This works as a way to show don't tell, with Annabeth feeling like she can't be a regular kid and is stuck being a demigod by perhaps that was the only thing she enjoyed during the time not at Camp Half-Blood. Like, that would be a great way to show that off. But no, instead, Disney does Disney stuff and puts product placement for Space Mountain in there. And of course, by the way, I'm also very much including Apollo's Chariot in this. Less so because it wouldn't have ties to Athena specifically, with Athena being Annabeth's mom, but it does have ties to the gods. So, that's something that you could certainly have Annabeth talking about, that could be a way to have a natural conversation about where she was, about something that she would have done that would have been a great way to have that natural conversation that shows that without straight up telling, hey, I feel like I can't be a kid and I'm stuck being a demigod. I didn't enjoy any of it. Without having to say that feels like a much more effective way to do that. Now, it would be easy for you to point out that the books were obviously written before Pantheon was built. So there would have been no way for Riordan to have referenced Pantheon in the books, but, they've made enough changes to the show that I think this change would be a good way to have show don't tell, to have to have Pantheon referenced in the show, to be able to have a natural conversation about showing where Annabeth's character is. And still, even if you want to do Disney being Disney with Disney product placement, you know, there's a way to still do this, because guess what? If monuments are built by the children of Athena, roller coasters are a monument to having fun, built to perfection, in the same way that something like the Gateway Arch would be built to perfection. So, roller coasters are built by the children of Athena. And people are wondering why I, as the real-life Athena Parthenos, like roller coasters so much. It's because my children built them. So that's why I can have so much fun with them. But anyway, yeah, that's probably going to do it for my way over analysis of a single line, just as someone who wants to overanalyze every roller coaster reference in media. I'm thinking about doing a trilogy of Percy Jackson amusement park references in honor of season 2 coming out. I'm thinking about doing a whole trilogy of these, with this first one, of course, being Pantheon should have been mentioned in season 2. How Rockahula / Lake Dolores should have been the abandoned water park and the mess of Jazzland in the movies. Like, I'm thinking of doing that as a trilogy of the amusement park references in the Percy Jackson universe. So let me know what you think about that idea, and I will see you guys in the next one.